Let's start with the two matches you had last week. Your trip to Dallas for Pitt at SMU, and then the return SMU at Pitt. Pitt wins them both. What do you make out of any of that for such an early season competition?
Yeah, I think Pitt is definitely hitting midseason form. Obviously, getting those two wins was big. And, this is a Pitt team that replaced four different starters and dropped the first two matches of the season. They have a lot of, I don't want to say inexperience, but players that don't have experience at the level that Pitt is used to in really big positions. You have two outsides, one of them being a freshman, one of them being a player that didn't get playing time until this year. A new setter coming in, Brooke Mosier, who came over from Illinois. But I think what this team has relied on is the experience of Olivia Babcock and Bree Kelly. Babcock being the reigning National Player of the Year. She absolutely went off. And, in the first match, she was phenomenal. 22 kills, hit 400. But then SMU also had Malaya Jones, who, I mean, if you haven't watched her play, she's an absolute stud for SMU, who went off for about, the same numbers. Pitt was just able to kind of grind out that first game in five. They dominated the fifth set. I think SMU kind of ran out of gas. And then in round two, it was kind of just the Babcock show. Pitt ended up going off. The only set that SMU took was I think it was 28-26 third set. But Babcock went off for 29 kills, hit 434. 13 of those kills came in the third set. So, it was figuring out if SMU could slow down Babcock, and they obviously couldn't, as no team really has been able to do. I think SMU looks really good, though. They're a team that I think could go deep in the tournament despite losing
Yeah,
every single starter on that team. They found a way to do it. And I think that's because Sam Merger is a pretty damn good head coach.
yeah, she was thrilled with a lot of things that were happening externally in
Yeah.
that match, like the confetti. Some of the
Oh
guys
my gosh,
making
that was so
jokes.
funny.
It happens. So we we stayed in our 900 square feet media poll. The top eight stayed the same, which was not surprising. I mean, the only thing was that last week Louisville and Wisconsin were tied, and now
Yeah.
Wisconsin seven, but it's 1 point difference. I was surprised at some of the outcomes for teams below the top eight. Like,
Yeah.
for example, great effort by Illinois at Purdue. At times, it was like watching two teams chop wood with a dull axe, and I think that's the way it's going to be for both of them.
Yeah, the offenses didn't look great. Honestly, to me, the most surprising part of that match was the fact that it was played at Mackey, which is in Purdue's basketball arena. I think it's just the third time they've ever had a volleyball match there, at least in recent years. And the fact that Illinois could go in there, and do what they did. I was at Purdue's match at Mackey last season when they played Indiana, and honestly, that was one of the loudest environments I've ever been a part of. I'm sure it was much of the same. So I don't know. It's pretty cool that an unranked Illinois team that's been like kind of up and down all season had found a way to beat a ranked opponent there.
Um, Random thoughts on a couple of teams. For one, Colorado went 9 and
Yeah.
0, lost a couple to Colorado State. Those are rivalry matches. Those are tough. And came back this week and won at BYU. Nobody wins at BYU but BYU,
No.
unless you're really, really good and has played well. And then won at Utah.
Yeah.
And I am kind of stunned that Kennedy Martin, who had a zillion kills and was pretty dominant last week for Penn State, is not the National Player of the Year of the week. But
I
the
thought it was going to be Babcock because they got two wins over it, and she put up crazy numbers too. But go Colorado, go Buffs.
Anna Barlovich, I think I'm saying it right, who's from Split, your the lovely town in Croatia where we
Oh
both have
yeah.
been lucky enough to go. She's the National Player of the Week. I mean, she's really good, and she had a
I
really
love
good
that.
week. But what Martin did for Penn State, win, lose, or draw, I mean, that was crazy.
Yeah, but to me, I personally, I really don't love when people win National Player of the Week if they didn't win both of their matches. Like, I don't know. I think you can be really great, but to me, it's like I think you got to get your team to win. For example, she puts up 34 kills against UCLA, but Penn State still doesn't win. I thought it was going to be Babcock just by her efficiency and the numbers she was putting up. But I mean, I love this pick for Colorado, kind of, you know,
Yeah.
getting a
No,
team that doesn't get a lot of recognition in there. I love it.
yeah. If you haven't seen the two teams, the second team I was going to say is Miami in the ACC.
Yeah.
we've talked, every week about uh, Flo Colon, the Dominican, star, but Miami's really good.
Yeah.
Miami's really, really good. Um, but you know, she actually could have been a Player of the Week candidate too, Cologne.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun with Miami because that's a team that is always good, and even if it feels like they always start off the year this way, where we're kind of talking about in the beginning of the season, but not really. They drop some matches they probably shouldn't, and then they really find their way, and they have some stud players coming out. But yeah, I mean, Flo, she's so much fun to watch.
To your point about Babcock, I think because of the position she plays and the serve that she has and how often she's involved,
Yeah,
she impacts the game as much as anybody since maybe Micah Hancock, who had
yeah,
that vicious lefty serve. That,
yep,
but Babcock's serve, even if they return it, is just
yeah.
it's a game changer. It takes the other team out of system. She has so many aces. She has 20. Uh, she actually only has 16 aces. Who leads them in aces? Brooke Mosier.
Yeah, Mosier, I
4.
will say Babcock, to me, Brooke Mosier hits the most consistent topspin serve that I feel like I've seen since Micah Hancock. The way that she's able to go back there and go on runs of 6 or 7 points consistently is pretty insane. To me, for the Babcock piece, right now, having seen pretty much every top team in person, I think Olivia Babcock does the most for her team out of any player that I've seen, hands down. It's the kill production. Defensively, she is night and day from what we saw last season. She is digging so many balls. I know she's at a career high in terms of digs per set. Her blocking is fantastic. Her serve was off last week. In the matches against SMU, she couldn't really find a rhythm and ended up going to a float serve. But the way that she's able to impact the game for Pitt all season is incredible. To me, she looks like for sure the all-around best player in the country.
Random, but kills leaders. Okay. Kennedy Louiselle from James Madison leads the nation in kills. Corinne Burns from St. Francis, second. Carson Tyler from Ball State, third. Fourth, I'm sorry. Chloe Morrison from Sam Houston is third. Carson Tyler from Ball State, fourth. Fifth is Takenya Stafford from Coppin State. Significant why? She's the older sister of Tori Stafford. How about that? I did not know that. And then get this, Ariana Ugolini from Bryant and Elena Giacomini from Quinnipiac and Anaya Hall from Louisiana Monroe. I haven't gotten to anybody in the top 10 yet, right? On their teams. Emerson Schramm from Duquesne. And I'm going like that because the type is so small on the NCAA stats website.
Well, even
Um,
when you go to kills per set, I mean, it's crazy seeing Kennedy Martin up there too, Mimi Collier three, if I'm not mistaken. So obviously two players that are doing
yeah.
phenomenal for their teams. And honestly, I think we haven't really touched on Penn State yet, but how about UCLA getting a massive win over Penn State after USC took Penn State to five a few days prior? I think we're definitely seeing the fact that Penn State is one struggling without Izzy Stark, which we already knew would happen. They have a shorter setter coming in. It's not working great. They're honestly, I don't even think it's a setter position. It's they're having a lot of trouble with that second outside role. Jervicius keeps getting pulled in and out of matches. She's obviously struggling passing, but they try to keep her out of that as much as possible. But I think what we found out about Penn State is that they really need another offensive option other than Kennedy Martin. She put up a career high 34 kills in a four-set match, and Penn State still lost in four. So if they don't have another attacker that's putting down balls, Penn State's going to struggle. And they have Nebraska on Friday. So we'll see. But they need someone to go off.
Sheridan Leverett,
Yeah.
CLA, is the real deal. And against Penn State, she had 20 kills and hit 340. And she's a big, strong, powerful, dynamic player. If you haven't
Yeah.
gotten to see UCLA, I don't usually see UCLA because I'm asleep by the time they start playing. But
I know. Well, they're
I did watch
playing
the Penn State
they're playing Purdue and Indiana this weekend, and they're like 10 Eastern start times. And I'm like, okay, I'll see it in the morning.
match. Yes, yes. Um, back to the poll. Um, TCU just keeps on plugging along. Texas A&M up to 10th. I think they're TCU might have moved up even more in the AVCA.
Well, it's funny because TCU
Texas A&M,
also
I mean.
lost
Yeah,
TCU
A&M's
lost to
ninth for them and 10th
Wait,
for
wait.
us.
Hold on, TCU. They also lost to Baylor last weekend, which was, I think it was like surprising that they went up, but there was so much movement in those teams in that kind of pocket that, I mean, I was like, I don't know what to do with them because they lost, but also the teams around them also lost. And so it was hard to figure out anyone. Honestly, for me, it was hard to figure out anyone from Arizona State down because I was like, I don't know what to do with all this.
No, and that's not unfair, but having watched Baylor a few times this year, and including that victory, and as I wrote in 900 Square Feet the other day, Ryan McGuire lost. Jason Williams,
Mhm.
the coach at TCU, Sam Erger, the coach at SMU, other assistants, players have left and
Yeah.
transferred. They've graduated. I mean, Avery Carlson, the setter, right? You know,
Yeah.
among others. And all they do is win every
Yeah.
year. Ryan McGuire can flat out recruit, coach, and make his teams good. And just you know, I think we all ought to recognize that. Mississippi State took its first loss, but still a good team in a match that a couple of matches. You want to go to some of those matches for this week?
Uh, let's do it. The last
Well,
thing
where
I'll
are
say
you? Where are you
just
going?
wait, first, last thing on the poll.
Oh yeah,
I don't know what to do with Minnesota. Like, I mean, I had them high in
again.
my poll. I had them basically where we had them, but only because they've only lost to Texas A&M, but they literally have not played anyone. They lost three of their starters. I know it's not a Minnesota team that I don't want to say like they don't deserve to be in the top 16, but they just haven't really played anyone, but they haven't really lost. So I don't know. I think to me, they're just in there because everyone else is losing.
No, but they lost players. I mean, what they lost this year.
I know.
So I mean, they lost. Wooker, the libero. Another player. I mean, three vital
They
cogs.
lost middle outside libero.
Yes, and this week, let's see here. Scrolling down to their schedule, they go. They play at Michigan on Wednesday and Northwestern. By the way, your Wildcats off to one of the best starts in a long, long time on Sunday.
Yeah.
So conceivably, I mean, on paper, I take Minnesota in both those matches, and
Michigan's been good though.
very good, very good.
So I don't know. Honestly, the Big Ten, the middle of the pack is there's a lot of teams that have historically not been amazing or not been amazing in recent seasons and are doing really well. Northwestern's one of them. Michigan obviously historically is good, but hasn't been doing well as of late. Michigan looks good. Michigan State looks good. Indiana still only has one loss, and they have USC and UCLA this weekend. I totally think Indiana's a team that could come out with one of those wins. I think the issue for them is the games are so late, but I don't know. I think Indiana could easily go into LA and get a win there.
Big West Coast swing, but the schedule's backloaded for Minnesota. Uh,
Yeah.
they play a lot of the better teams in the last third of the season, and presumably because of depth, we have to assume they're going to wear out a little bit. But for right now, if they stockpile wins, because next week they've got UCLA coming in, but they don't get the UCLA USC split. They just get the
Mm,
one, and then Ohio State comes in on Sunday, and they're
they're
Ohio
not doing
State's
great.
grinding.
Yeah.
That's the only week. But speaking of Ohio State, Mac Pedraza, who we both covered and love from that team as a setter, she's doing a nice job as an analyst for the Big
Yeah.
Ten Network for a young kid. I hope she's paying attention to how Emily Ehman does it.
Oh gosh. Just keep me on mute. I don't know. She's crushing it though. Yeah, it's fun to see her. I know with the former players too, there's a few of them that, I mean, she's obviously going to play pro soon, and I hope we keep her through the end of the season. I don't know when her matches kind of settle down, but she's been freaking crushing. I love it.
Yeah, well, she comes from a coaching family, a volleyball family, and she paid attention. She's a setter. She's really smart. So good.
Yeah.
Uh,
All right, this week.
this
Good
week, well,
stuff.
outside the Power Four, Thursday, Creighton at Marquette. It's not the same Marquette team, but they're still good, and it's still
Yeah.
Creighton Marquette in the Big East, and that's always way, way fun.
Yeah.
Um, I'd have them in conference order. So on the ACC, it's a pretty boring schedule this week for the ACC until
Yeah.
Sunday, and then Louisville at Stanford. Ooh, that's
That's
always
like such a classic, super good offense in Stanford against a really good defense in Louisville. I'm pumped for that one. I know Elia Rubin didn't play in their last game, but it seemed like maybe they were resting her. They were going against, I think it was Virginia Tech. No offense to Virginia Tech, but it seemed like they were resting Rubin in that one. I'm assuming they were. So I'm pumped for that. And I love that it's on Sunday because the Sunday slate isn't like the best slate. You got a few other big ones.
Right.
Also in the ACC, I mean, Georgia Tech plays SMU and Pitt, but Georgia Tech has been so up and down. I would assume
I
that
I
SMU,
didn't even write that down because Georgia Tech's
I know.
frustrating to watch play right now. There, and I'm sure it's frustrating
Yeah.
for Shelley. Like, so
Yeah.
in the Big 12 on Wednesday, Kansas goes to TCU. Big
Mhm.
match for both teams. Big top 16 seed match. Big for the Big 12. Big for both teams.
I
Um,
mean, if Kansas loses another ranked matchup in five, I might cry because right now they've lost to Purdue, Penn State, Wisconsin, Creighton, Arizona State. All of those, I believe, have been in 5 sets.
well, I mean, the joke I texted Matt Ulmer after like his
I
fourth
know.
match of the year. I said, do your kids know that you don't get paid by the set?
It happened again with Arizona State this weekend, and I texted Sam Gore was doing the match, and I was like, "What the heck? Like, of course it's going five, but
Right.
man, if they can get on just one other side of those, and I think they've won one 5 set match all season, which was that first one that they had of the year against Vanderbilt. So they got to do it against some better opponents.
Matt Ulmer does a coach's show at a brewery in Lawrence, Kansas.
He's the best.
Looks like he doesn't drink. I said, what's wrong with this? He should be like a coffee house. Tom Hilbert was the first
He
one to
doesn't
leave
drink
the Ohio
coffee
State.
either. He doesn't drink coffee.
Does he drink coffee or beer?
No.
I would just be liquid free almost, except for a little bit of water.
Yeah,
Um,
well, I'd be 10 pounds lighter.
oh my. Friday, a couple of Big 12 matches worth noting. BYU goes to West Virginia. West Virginia's got a good record. Not a world beater, but still, that's a tough place to play, and it's a big match for both teams. And then also Friday, Kansas at Baylor. I mean,
That'll
Kansas
be a good one.
got the double. They go TCU, then they go to Baylor, and
I
then
mean, it's just funny because those matches will go 5 sets and it's going to be good volleyball.
yeah, and then Saturday, Utah at Arizona State,
Hmm.
and that's a big one. Utah needs a bounce back and needs a real good performance, if nothing else.
I honestly, the Big 12 volleyball right now is so fun because every single one of those, what is it, top five or so teams in the conference, like you could tell me anyone's going to come out of that conference winning and I would totally believe you.
For sure. No, it's been way fun. And the level, I think the Big 12 has upped its game more than any of the other conferences right now.
Yeah.
Speaking of feeling just the opposite about the SEC, there are no ranked versus ranked matchups until I don't even know the whole week. And I looked at the schedule and I went, oh, this is so boring. I'm not writing any down until
Yeah.
Sunday. Texas goes to Mississippi State. Now, I don't know. I don't know if they
Which
even played there last year. It's a different kind of place at State. State's good. State's a nice team. They're not going to beat Texas, but it's going to
someone,
be a nice game.
I know they've only lost one match, but
11-1.
someone voted for them in our poll, which threw me for a loop.
I didn't understand that. I saw
I
that.
saw that and I was like, I mean, again, no offense to them. I think they're doing great, but there's just a lot of whatever.
Right. Also
Anyway,
getting votes for us: Kansas, Miami, USC, Tennessee, Mississippi State, Penn State. Hell, I had Miami 10th, so I thought that would have been enough to jump them in at the bottom, but they didn't get in. All right, and then your Big Ten conference Thursday, Illinois at Wisconsin. That's a litmus test game for Illinois coming back off the victory over Purdue. Wisconsin's susceptible. That's a big one for
and
both teams.
and Grace Egan was out last weekend, or maybe she was out. I don't know. They announced that she's out. I don't know if she's going to be out for this match. Dennis Punzel tweeted it. He said he was off that day, so we didn't have that much information. But yeah, he said Grace Egan tweaked her knee, which Mimi Collier leading them in kills per set, crushing. But they've also had the option of Egan on the right side, who is phenomenal, and also her serve. So I don't know. Hopefully they have her back. We'll see. I hope I have him next week at Penn State, so I'm really hoping she's back for that one. But yeah, could be closer than you think it is.
Yeah. An interruption for this announcement. If you're watching this and you're not a subscriber to 900 Square Feet, the all volleyball email, the only one of its kind, and it's free, please sign up. The link is in the description in this YouTube video. Thank you. And now back to our regularly scheduled program. Um, uh, we said Purdue, they make the UCLA USC swing. I
Yep.
think that's a real big road trip. Eventually you got to steal some on the road. You got to win a game at the road. And then now with a home loss to Illinois makes
Yeah.
on the road even more important.
And
Uh,
they're playing at 9:30 and 10 p.m. Eastern, both of those matches. So
those are yeah. Last time, God, one of the roughest road trips I personally ever had was um, flying out to Washington, and Washington played UCLA at the 8 o'clock Pacific start. So it was
Ugh.
11 o'clock Eastern. I was in the Central Time Zone, still 10. It was on the Pac-12 network. May it rest in peace, which
Yeah.
was very good, by the way. I love the Pac-12 network, and of course, it went five.
Oh, always.
Have Yeah, I was
I
like,
mean, to be fair, like if I'm those West Coast schools, I'm always wanting to play at 8 Pacific, like
oh,
trap game for
absolutely,
sure.
absolutely. All right, what else we got? Friday, Nebraska, Penn State. Duh, big.
I've got that one. Well, I hope it's a game. At playing at Rec Hall, I think, they're good for a few points a set just based on the crowd. But I think Penn State's got to figure it out. They need another offensive weapon. They can't just rely on Kennedy Martin. To be fair, though, you think back to last year in the two matches Penn State played Nebraska, Caroline Jurvicius had two of the best matches of her career. So maybe she steps up playing her former team. They're going to need someone to have some offensive production. Otherwise, I think Nebraska could be in and out quick.
And Indiana, travel partner of Purdue, makes the USC UCLA swing as well.
I think they get one of those. I don't know.
They, they're 11-1.
They look really good. It's not just like
Yes.
a
The
bad
only
11.
loss was to Western Kentucky. They got swept at Western Kentucky, which we know from history can be a great program, but is not a
Yeah.
good team this year. But
Yeah.
dominating and doing everything you asked. Have you watched personally? Have you gotten to see Indiana play this year?
Yeah, I've watched I don't remember which game it was. I watched them once. They have a lot of young players, but they're kind of crushing. They have a fun Serbian setter that I like. She's doing well. And yeah, I think it's like the offense looks really good. We'll see how they hold up defensively against some of these teams. But I don't know. Again, it's something that I could see them coming out with a win. And especially because UCLA has been so up and down. Um, I don't know.
Yeah, well, Candela, Alonso, Corchelis. I used the plus sign thing to blow this one up, so I didn't have to like stare into the.
Yeah,
She's got
Andy.
150 kills and is hitting 315,
Yeah, she's
and
crushing.
Avery Tatum's got 142 kills and is hitting 402.
Mm-hmm.
And
Tatum was she was like kind of in and out because of injuries last season, and same with, I mean, Kim Hayworth was too, and that was an Indiana team that looked like they were going to make the tournament, and even despite having lost their libero and setter, I think they look really good. And obviously I'm from Bloomington, so I pay attention to them a little bit more and get updates from my grandpa and dad after every single game. Uh, but I think they look good.
Tatum's got 30 blocks. They have a lot of blocks.
Yeah.
I mean, they have one, two, three, four, five, six, seven players with 21 or more blocks. It's a bunch. That's a bunch. Um, where are you going besides that Nebraska Penn State? Don't tell me
Just
you're only
Nebraska.
working one game this week.
Just one game.
Wow.
I know my schedule is pretty chill, honestly, for the next like 6 weeks or so. I think once conference play started, I don't know, honestly, we just had so many big non-con matches that was kind of the majority of my schedule. And then the end of the season, last 6 weeks are crazy. But I'm kind of chilling for the next 6 weeks. I've got only one or maybe two matches a week for the next bit. So I'm going to the Cubs playoff game tomorrow.
Oh, good for you.
Go
Well, I'm
Cubbies.
going this afternoon. Of course, we won't be posting this until Wednesday, but Masco, which is an abbreviation for some long name here in Northeast Massachusetts, where the Marblehead Magicians, who were 7-2 after the first round of their 18-match regular season schedule, go up there, and young libero Sydney Ferris getting better every day. So we're all happy.
Nice.
Yeah,
Love
yeah,
it.
yeah. So there you go. She's Emily Ehman of ESPN, Fox, Big Ten, Volleyball World TV fame. And I'm Lee. Thanks for watching. And if you're not signed up for my email, please sign up, become part of the 900 square feet volleyball community.